If you are a prospective home buyer and you find a home you like, now you want to know how much you need to offer. Now that answer very much depends on how long the home has been on the market and how much activity they've had. So I'm going to break it down for you into 3 different scenarios. So first, if it's a competitive situation where they have multiple offers, you're going to need to go in strong. Often sellers will ask for highest and best offers by a certain day and time, and you really only get one chance because all buyers are submitting their offers on that time and they'll be presented to the sellers all at once. So in these cases, I really approach it from 3 ways. First, I look at what the comps say. Now, comps are recent home sales of similar style homes in the town or neighborhood. Sometimes it can get tricky because the comps can really show a big range, or the house could be really unique and not have any direct comps, but you should look at the closest comps you can come up with a number. Second, I look at the market as a whole in that town or neighborhood to see where it's trending. So how are homes selling versus list price? In the current market, we're generally seeing homes go for about 5 to 10% over list price, but some sell for as high as 20 or 30%. So based on these numbers, I'll give you a range for a recommended offer, and then it's up to you to decide how aggressive you want to be or can afford to be. So if you've been looking for a while and you feel like you've seen what's out there and you really want to go for it, I'd say go on the high end of the ranges. Look at the highest comps, the highest sales price list price ratio, and see if you can push to that number or even beyond. But if you're newer to the market and you're feeling a little nervous, maybe stay closer to the middle. Now, I love doing the analysis and number crunching, and my numbers are often pretty close or correct. But at the end of the day, home buying is also a very emotional thing, and you never know what you're going to be up against. So ground yourself with the number and then go with your gut. So second, if a home has been on the market for a few weeks and they haven't had much activity, you probably don't have to be as aggressive with what you offer. But don't think this means you're going to get a crazy deal. It is still critical to look at the comps, determine what fair market value is for the home. You probably don't need to pay as much attention to the sales price list price ratio because they may have priced it a little too high out of the gate, but consider offering something around the average comp price, which hopefully is not too far off from the list price. I would also encourage you to act quickly because you never know when another offer might come in to the table and suddenly you have competition and then it's going to drive up the price. Now, if the comps point to a number that's significantly below the list price, you might have a situation where you have a seller that has unrealistic expectations about the home value. It might be worth submitting an offer at what you think is fair, but they might not go for it, and your best bet might just be to kind of like wait it out a couple weeks, go back if it still hasn't sold. But at the end of the day, if you get a home at list price that's also around the average comp price, I'd say you're getting a good deal in this market. Now, the third scenario is when a home has been on the market for a while, which in this market would probably be anything over a month. Now, this is a case where you might be able to get a deal, but tread lightly. It is critical that you still look at the comps to see what fair market value is. Most likely the home's overpriced, the seller probably has unrealistic expectations, but that doesn't mean you should give them a lowball offer because that would probably insult them. So I'd recommend offering something in line with fair market value, maybe slightly below. But if you come in too low, they might be turned off, they won't want to work with you. But if you put in something reasonable and realistic, you guys might have a chance of coming together with a price that works for both of you. At the end of the day, everyone just wants to feel like they're getting fair market value for a home. So just pay attention to the numbers and you will be all set.